What is going on, guys? Radies here, and today I'm here with Corrado.
What's up, guys?
And today we're going to be giving you guys a lot of business advice, especially for the younger people out there. So, Corrado, without further ado, I think my first question to you is, what are some books that really helped you in business and that really gave you that mindset and really led you towards success?
I actually haven't read many books, to be honest, on business.
Yeah.
At the time when I first started my first business, there wasn't really a lot of mentors and people that would you can look up to nowadays, like going on YouTube or Instagram and following some of these gurus. But yeah, it was like mostly like my father and asking him questions and stuff like that, and learning from my own experiences, and that's why I like to put a lot of content out, because I actually learned from losing money and going out there and doing things myself.
Interesting, yeah. And like, I know you have your whole story. Do you want to maybe quickly tell that story to the audience about your whole, like, it was a pita pit?
It was an Extreme Pita franchise.
Pita, yeah. So do you want to quickly share that story maybe?
Yeah, so I was around 18 years old and I was looking to get into a business. My father wanted me to get out of the club scene because he thought it was really dangerous and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I got out of the club scene. Not really out of the club scene. I was still involved while I had the Extreme Pita, and I was overworked. Right. I ended up opening the location, started the process at 18, finally got it open and everything, and the franchise actually just went against me, didn't help me. There was no support from that angle.
Right.
And it didn't do well. But yeah, the process of getting that all set up was pretty much all me.
Alone.
Dealing with the lawyers. Dealing with the contractor and everything, because we just had an empty shell and we had to build the location.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess, what would you say is your biggest lesson out of that? I guess it's the fact that you just did it instead of overthinking it, because I'm sure like at 18, man.
Biggest lesson with a franchise is to make sure that, you have a really good lawyer that can review the franchise agreement. Because the franchise agreements are like, some of them, like the one that I signed, like I was like personally responsible for the lease. Now, when you have a company like RioCan, that basically you have a lease for like 10 years, you're responsible if you have to get out of the business for any reason.
Right.
Now, the franchise has to approve the purchaser and the buyers.
Okay.
So they can make it a difficult process for you to sell your franchise.
Right.
And then you're still responsible for the lease. And that's what they did. That's what they did to me. Like, they made it very difficult for me to sell my location. Like, I literally wanted to give it away for free. I didn't want to go bankrupt, but I wasn't able to do that.
Wow.
I was like almost forced to walk away from it.
Right. And this was all at 18, or was this a bit later on?
No, it took a while. Like, the place got delayed. So I was like 22, 23 when this was all happening.
Wow.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was a process. Like
it was a
4 or 5
process.
years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But I had the location for about 2.5 years.
Right.
Right. So.
Gotcha. And I guess another question I would have to say is, obviously, like you said, you didn't really look up to books. There weren't really mentors, gurus, all that. You did get advice from your father, or whatever that may be. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've ever gotten?
The best piece of advice was actually from a guy that I used to book limos from.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's funny, but so while I was a nightclub promoter, I provided this service of bringing people to clubs with limos, limo buses, and school buses.
Okay.
So I think, like, I had promoters that would actually deal with me, and other clubs that I didn't work at that would book these buses and these limos for me, because I was like basically controlling that market, right? So some weekends I'd book like 20 in total, 20 buses, limos, school buses. So I used to bring a lot of people to clubs that way, right? So the owner of that company came to my Extreme Pita, right? He brought me a gift, and he's like, his name's John, and he's like, Corrado, before you take advice from anybody, look at what they've done and how successful they are, and don't just take advice from anybody. Don't take advice from people that that have not experienced it and have not been through it. He's like, just make sure you're careful with who you take advice from.
Okay, I like that, because I think that's another thing where it's like, you may ask, like, for example, I'm young myself, and just going into business, I may ask some of my friends, hey, like I'm thinking about doing this, they'll just be like, no, Radies, don't do that. Like do this instead. But like, they haven't done it. Like they wouldn't know, right?
Yeah.
I think that's good that you mentioned that because it sounds like you were doing a lot of things. You had Extreme PETA, club promoting, right?
Yes.
A lot of stuff. So how did you really what made you really figure out what you wanted to do and how did you get to that path? Because there's a lot of confusion, right? Like, oh, should I go to post-secondary? Should I do this? Should I do that? What do you think would be some good advice for someone who's kind of not lost in life, but just unsure of what they want to do?
I think it's important to actually take some time, if it's a month, if it's a day, if it's a year, to figure out exactly what you want to do. Like, write it down.
Right.
Like, this is what I want to accomplish. This is what I want to become. Knowing what you want to do is very important. Like, working a 9-to-5 job, anybody can do that. But figuring out exactly what you want to do. Like, I knew I wanted to own businesses at a young age. Like, that was just... My father did the same thing. And, he used to always kind of like put it in my head, but I actually enjoyed it. Like that's, at a young age, like I was making a lot of money as a nightclub promoter. I did very well doing that. And, knowing what you want to do is very important. Sometimes it can just happen and come to you, but being open to opportunities and meeting people and connecting with people, and then, opportunities will come. Right, so it's important that you spend a little bit of time on figuring out what you want to do. Right.
Okay. No, I like that, and I think another thing is like you have to really set yourself up for success, right? Like you can't just expect things to happen. Exactly. In terms of yourself, Corrado, I know like a lot of people focus. They have like morning routines, nightly routines. Do you have some type of routines, or I guess like things that you do that's like important to you? Kind of like, if I don't do this, I won't get work done. Is there anything that you have?
I'll be honest, because I'm not a 9-to-5 guy. That's just not my personality. Yeah. I don't really have a routine.
Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I go with the flow. But I have to get things done. Right. Right. Whenever I have to do something, look, sometimes I'll work 12 hours, 14 hours a day. Like I'll go ham. Right. Right. Even on vacations, like sometimes I can't stay still. Like I have to do something. Like I'll go to Florida to actually get some work done, like some admin stuff. You know what I mean? But like just when you got to do something, like my personality is like I got to get it done. I can't just wait and let it sit. I got to do it fast. Right.
So you're resilient. Like if you put your mind to it, you will get it done. Type of thing. Yeah. I like that. Is there anything in life that happened to you that kind of really gave you that interest in business, whether that's like a hobby or something like that? Yeah. Well, I think it all comes down to drive, and I got that from soccer. Right? So I used to play soccer and train every day. Yeah. Till today I run every day for half an hour. Okay. Minimum 20 minutes to half an hour every single day. Wow. And if I don't do that, I can't function. Like I feel like I'm missing out on something. Like it's training was very important in my life, and I basically put when I was a soccer player, my goal was to become one of the best soccer players, and I wanted to go to Europe, and I actually got to experience that, and I went through that, awesome. And I'm pretty sure if I had my mindset back then, like I would have made it, right? But it's just you have to have that drive, right? And that came from sports. It came from soccer. Right? Being committed, training every day, doing the push-ups, the sit-ups, training at York University. Right? I used to train at the track. I wasn't a runner, I was a soccer player, and I was, always trying to do different things to become a better athlete. Right? I remember I wasn't a fast runner, right? I was actually slow, but I was able to run long distance. Right. So at I think I was around 15, 16 years old when I started training at the track, and I started running fast, right? Because my scout in Italy, he's like, my agent, he's like, you got to be faster to play in Serie A. He's like, you already have the skill, your skill levels already Serie A. Quality, your physique, you just need to be a little bit faster, and then you're good to go. Yeah, you can play like Serie A. So I trained and I became faster, and it's all mindset, right? Right. I'm curious, Corrado, what position did you play? Attacking mid. Attacking mid, okay. Yeah. Center attacking mid, left, right? I was everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. Okay. I had to ask. I'm a soccer fan myself. And who's your favorite player? Of all time, Ronaldinho. I know you're going to hate it. No, Ronaldinho's sick. Yeah. Again, AC Milan, Inter Milan, I know, but like, no, Ronaldinho's like a legend. I love him. Yeah. What's watching him play? What about you? My idol, the only guy that I've ever looked up to was Ronaldo, not Cristiano. The Brazilian one. Brazilian Ronaldo. Yeah. I don't... Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi?
Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo.
No, it's messy.
Come on, bro.
Come on.
No, we can do another video.
Yeah,
on
this is a whole
like,
debate.
Wow.
We're not gonna have this conversation now.
Yeah. Overall package.
So guys, we're just about to wrap things up, but before we do that, I just have to ask Corrado. You've done a lot of things. You know, it's amazing the things you've done. It's very inspiring. I'm sure for me to see and even my audience. What's next for you, man? What do you have planned? Maybe for 2020 or just even in 5, 20 years? Like, what's next for you?
Well, my plan is to continue selling pre-construction,
Yeah.
and you know, I really see that there's a huge opportunity for people to invest in pre-construction here in Toronto because there's just so many immigrants and people that are moving to Canada, and a lot of those people are coming to Toronto. So we don't have enough supply. So I work with a lot of investors. And I think real estate in general in Toronto is just going to keep appreciating and going up. So you know, I enjoy selling. I love dealing with people, and that's what I'm going to be doing for the next little while. So
awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, we have another video coming out, and we're going to talk about the whole real estate aspect. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and you guys are going to see that in a bit. But regardless, Corrado, thank you so much for sharing.
I want to thank you for doing this, man. I really appreciate it.
No worries, man. It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you stay tuned, leave a like, subscribe, and comment below, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care and goodbye. Oh, you didn't say adios.
It's okay.
Shoot.
It's all good.